Hey guys, Sean Media just want to do a big shout out to Rugby League Coffee Lounge. All the best this year, 2020.
Alright, oh yeah! Fuck! Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the YouTube channel. I am Nick from Australia, and tonight I am joined by Rugby League YouTuber Hainsey. We're going to be previewing the Brisbane Broncos versus the Wynnum Manly Seagulls, the trial match. It seems to be a traditional yearly thing now with this trial match. Brisbane versus Wynnum, the first official Rugby League game for 2023. Hainsey, welcome back to the channel. It's good to have you on once again, my friend.
G'day, Nick. G'day, guys. Oh, it was great to be back. Also, I noticed myself I'm finally in one of your intros, which is great to see. So, I can't wait to see a little bit of footy this weekend. It's going to be great.
Well, mate, it's going to be interesting. Obviously, this game is not far from you, isn't it? It's not far at all.
No, so it's over at Wynnum, which is on the bay side of Brisbane. So, it's a decent 40, 45-minute drive, but it's not too bad, it's Yeah, it's gonna be good to see. It's good to see some footy again.
Obviously, Broncos and Wynnum. Obviously, both teams. Brisbane haven't really named a strong side, which is expected. And Wynnum, I don't know a whole lot about their players, but it's just good to. We're going to have some rugby league to watch on Saturday afternoon. Now, from what I understand, it's a 4:00 kickoff in Queensland. It's a 5:00 kickoff here in New South Wales, so it'll be nice and warm up there.
Yeah, definitely. It's on the bay side, so it won't be. You might get a little bit of a breeze at BMD Cougar Eye Oval, so it's definitely it'll be a bit windy on the bay side there, so which will help. But no, obviously, as you expect, it's the Broncos aren't going to play their best squad. Technically,
exactly right.
Wynnum's basically forfeited with the Broncos anyway, so but obviously they're not going to bring a strong lineup, but basically it's not about that. It's about all those young Broncos fans seeing their team play, and it's also it's more of the experience.
Before we get into it, bro, before we get into it, I just want to say hello to the live chat. The live chat's starting to build in now, and we're getting a bit of an audience for your February 1st. I can't believe it's February already. Unbelievable how quick January went. February 1st, 8:35 p.m. here in New South Wales, 7:35 up there in Queensland where Hainsey is. Hope you guys are all doing well on this Wednesday night. Hello to the live chat. We've got Broncos X-Edits NRL in the live chat. We've got Robert M, 1989. We got Rishi from the UK. Faraz, SS Storm fan. Josh Rabbitohs 2023. The loyal Jason Reader. SS Storm fan, Tim Jones, Devils on the side. The live chat's looking good, so good to see. The only thing that's negative at the moment is I'm having a small internet connection problem, so I'm a bit blurry for you guys. Hopefully that improves. All right, so what we're going to do, Hainsey, the Wynnum Manly Seagulls announced their squad about 2 hours ago, from what I understand. So we're going to get their team up on the screen, and we're going to talk about them first. The Wynnum Manly Seagulls. So I'll go through the team for you guys in case you don't know who's playing. So at fullback for Wynnum, they've got Matt Milson. On the wings, they've got Stanford Talita and former Cowboys winger Gideon Gala-Mosby. In the centres, they've got Josh Sim, who come over from St. Helens. So that's going to be interesting to see how he goes. Kiko Manu in the other centre position. The halves, those Tony Pello and Kyle Foxwell. The front row of Jack Martin and John Rattle. The hooker is Ollie Pascoe. The back row of Bailey Hartwig and Luke Gale. And the lock is Brody Tamura. And on the bench, they've got a lot of bench players here. So they've got Kitron Laka, Cassius Fatili, Cassius Coley, Kobe Martin, Sefa Roach, Nathan Ward, James Robinson, Darius Farmer, Cooper Page Wilson, Ethan Maltz, Grant Haggai, Nathaniel Tugger Matia. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Apologies. Jordan Davies, Cooper Hewitt, and Johnson Murray. Hainsey, I'm not sure how many players you're familiar with for Wynnum, but I just want to point out I am very familiar with Gideon Gallimosby and Josh Sim, who was at St. Helens. He was more of a backup outside back for St. Helens, but he come on as a winger, centre, played a little bit of fullback here and there as well. Do you recognise anyone for the Wynnum Manly Seagulls?
I recognise two, Jack Martin and Gilden Geller Mosby as well.
Yeah.
He's big fella. He is Mosby.
I remember a couple of years ago. Hainsey, and you probably remember this as well. Gideon Geller Mosby was apparently the next big thing. It was going to be the next Cowboys great winger. It was going to be the next Matt Singh or Ty Williams, and he had a couple off-field incidents which led to him getting a release, and he hasn't been able to find an NRL club. So maybe playing back in the Queensland Cup will maybe get him another NRL club opportunity at some stage.
Well, with Wynnum Manly, with a partnership with the Brisbane Broncos, so obviously there's an opportunity for the likes of these young up and comers who can announce themselves here with it, and then obviously the Broncos coaches will be there, like obviously Kevin Walters is there, and all those recruitment staff at the Broncos will be watching this game really closely. So if they do perform, they'll be definitely on their radar, and they might be promoted into a training trial or top 30 squad for a few seasons. So obviously, I think this game's going to benefit more Wynnum than the Broncos. Like obviously,
I think so as well.
So it's going to benefit Wynnum more than the Broncos. So
I think the other thing too is as well with Gideon Geller Mosby. I think at this stage of his career, we all would have thought he'd be in an NRL team somewhere playing on the wing, but obviously circumstances have gone the other way for him. And look, from what I understand, he's actually put on some muscle. He's gotten a bit bigger. I'm not sure if any NRL club would be interested in Gideon Geller Mosby, maybe the Dolphins in the near future, because he is a Queenslander, and I can't imagine him going anywhere else unless he got an opportunity in Sydney or somewhere else. But Geller Mosby will be one to watch out for this weekend. Now, the other one I want to talk about, not many people are familiar with this guy. If you watch the Super League, people who watch the Super League will probably know this guy. In the centres, number 3 right here, this guy right here, Josh Sim. He was one of the backup outside backs for St. Helens. St. Helens obviously have won the last 4 grand finals in the Super League. He is one of those players where he can play wing, he can play centre, he can play fullback. He's come over to the NRL to give it a crack. I'm not sure how much you know about him, Hainsey, but it'd be very interesting to see how he goes in the Queensland Cup.
So who did he play for again?
St. Helens.
Oh, St. Helens. Okay, yeah. Well, obviously
he was a backup player though. He wasn't in their best 17. It was just a backup.
Okay. Well, anyway, he's been in a good system. Obviously, St. Helens have been the powerhouse of the Super League in the last few seasons. Yeah. So obviously, he's got that winning mentality in him. So it's always good. Like even though it's in the Super League and everyone has that credits about the Super League standard, but obviously, like coming from, he's had experience at a good club. So so he'll definitely notice the difference between like the standard, I could say. Like obviously the Q Cup, it's not really bad quality Queensland Cup. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes, and we'll see how we go.
Yeah, I think he would have learned a lot as well under at St. Helens under guys like Christian Wolf, and I think Justin Holbrook might have been there his first when Josh Sim made his debut at Saints. So I could be wrong about that, but like you said, he's been in a good system. It'll be very interesting to see how he goes over here. Obviously, outside backs coming from the Super League to the NRL haven't always gone down well. So some of them have succeeded, but I think most of them have been a bit underwhelming. But like I said, Josh Sim's one of those players where he was not in St. Helens' best 17. He was more of a backup player. If there was an injury, maybe he'd get the call up to come in. So outside of Josh Sim and Gideon Gallon-Mosby, I don't really know anyone for the Wynnum team. You're talking about the front row with Jack Martin before, this bloke right here.
Yeah, Jack Martin. Yeah, he's a good player as well. I just recognise the name. I think
I haven't seen much of him anyway, so I'm interested to see how he goes this weekend. They're in jersey number 8, so I'm interested to see how he goes on the weekend. All right, well, we'll move on from the Wynnum team now, and we'll discuss the Brisbane Broncos. We'll get their team up on the screen. They have a couple of familiar players this weekend, but not a lot. Just a couple of ones that we will notice. So for the Broncos, I'll go through their team and then we'll talk about, obviously, some of the players. So Tristan Sailor is at fullback. On the wings, I've got Israel Leota, along with James Johnson on the other wing. In the centres is Ethan Kwu Ward. I'm sure I pronounced that wrong. Dean Mariner in the centres as well. Jack Ahern and Josh Rogers are the halves. Logan Bayless and Ben T. Kura in the front row. Tyson Smoothie at dummy half. Brendan Fry and Brendan Piakura in the back row. Shalon Afua at lock. I'm sure I got that one wrong too. Liam Horn, Jack Campolongo, Jaden Morgan, John Riddell on the bench, and 18th man is Will Samuel. Hainsey, obviously, there's a few of these guys that we are well aware of. Let's start off with Tristan Sailor. Now, Tristan Sailor was in the Dragon system. Then he had that off-field incident where it was allegedly they did something bad. He ended up being innocent the whole time. Now he's been given a chance at the Broncos. Do you see Tristan Sailor getting much game time in the NRL squad this year? And how do you think he'll go in this Broncos Q Cup side, or whatever they want to be known as this weekend?
Well, this is probably the best opportunity to prove to the Broncos organization that he wants a spot in the top 30. Like, obviously, he's got a long list ahead of him, like Reece Walsh, and he's obviously the number one guy that's supposed to be playing fullback this year. But he can also make his claim in this game. And then these guys here, all this game here is just all these guys here are all Q Cup players, and it's basically it's just them proving themselves. Give great
impress the coach,
pretty much, and impress them, because obviously they are going to go back to their Q Club clubs, and who knows? Like, obviously, a lot of things can happen in an NRL season. There could be injuries and COVID as well. So there's always curveballs in an NRL season. And it's good that got that experience, and who knows, maybe the first or the second week of the preseason challenge that they might even be called up again, because obviously they're not going to play the best squad available. They're not going to play their full 17 at certain times. Like, obviously, like we saw with the Wynnum bench, they have 28 players, and that's the beauty about trials, that there's a lot of rotation and a lot of trial and error kind of stuff in those trials. So who knows? It'll be a great opportunity. And it was also for these guys, there's also a bit of footy. Some of them might be a little bit up the scratch. It's been a long off season. And obviously, like, Q Cup don't play or don't regularly train as often as the first grade squad. So it's also, it's just dusting off the old cobwebs and getting some footy under the belt for the season.
Well, I think if we have a look at the notable players here for the Broncos, the ones that we need to really keep a close eye on, potentially being in the Broncos' best 1 to 17 for round one and throughout the season. Obviously, Tristan Sailor comes to mind. I think Dean Mariner's another outside back where he may get called up a little bit because of injury and stuff. And I think during Origin, Mariner may get called up a few times. Tyson Smoothie, probably one of the most intriguing ones this weekend. He wants to play hooker for the Broncos, and I think he has an opportunity this weekend to prove himself, where if he plays really well in this game against Wynnum on the weekend, he could potentially, get his way into that 17. We've also got guys like Brendan Piakura. He played a few games last year, and obviously with the off-field incident of TC Rabadi, there is an opportunity here for Piakura to prove himself and maybe even get on the bench for the Broncos. And if I'm not mistaken, Hainsey, Brendan Fry, it might have been his brother Jackson, but I swear he was at the Roosters.
I think so too. Yeah, I've heard of that name before. Obviously, a great name by Brendan, of course. The two Brendans are there. Obviously, a great name. But yeah, I've definitely heard of that name before.
I think his brother Jackson might have been at the Roosters system a few years back. I don't know. I don't know if Brendan was there as well, but he sounds very familiar. But I think the main ones that everyone will be watching closely this weekend is Brendan Piakura, Tyson Smoothy, Dean Mariner, and obviously Tristan Saylor. Ainsley, do you obviously we'll get to it soon with our prediction for the game this weekend, but I'm thinking the Broncos probably win this game on the weekend. Will you be attending this on the weekend, or are you going to give it a skip?
I'll see how we go. Well, obviously, they are still in cricket mode. The Brisbane Heat are playing in their semi-final tomorrow, so if the Heat win and go through the final on the Saturday, obviously it'll be their live streaming on the Saturday night. So we'll see how we go. I'll definitely at 4:00. I'll definitely tune in to see how it goes. It's going to be interesting. Yeah. Obviously, we've seen some up-and-comers play in this game. Obviously, Selvin Cobbo actually played as a rookie. I'm not sure if it was Wynnum or the Broncos at fullback 1 year. So I think he definitely has played in this game before, and he really basically, he's shown his potential. And this is what this game's for, just showing potential. So it's going to be interesting. I think it's just great to see some footy. Obviously, the Broncos did the best thing possible on yesterday when they put out Teamless Tuesday again, which was great to see. Obviously, the Dolphins are also playing the Central Queensland Capras on Saturday as well in a trial, so that's going to be interesting to see how the Dolphins go.
Yeah, but I had no idea the Dolphins were even playing until earlier today. I was like, oh, Dolphins are playing too? Had no idea. But yeah, look, Broncos and Wynnum, it's one of those games where both teams are looking for a hit out. A lot of these Broncos players want to impress Kevin Walters. I want to try and prove to him that some of these guys are capable of getting an opportunity week in, week out. So it's going to be intriguing to see how everyone does go this weekend. I want to talk about Tyson Smoothy for just a moment, Hainsey. Tyson Smoothy, do you see him potentially getting a crack at the Broncos hooker position this year? Because obviously they've got Walters, Pakes, they've got this other kid named Mozart. Smoothy's one of those players where he's a very versatile player. I think he'd be perfect for the Broncos, but depends if they go that way.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely got potential. Yes. So we'll see how
it came out of that Melbourne Storm system as well.
Oh, did he? Did he play at the Falcons or?
I think he was at the Storm last year. I don't know if he played in the NRL games with him. I can't remember. I think he might have played 1 or 2 games. Played a couple of them. Sure he did.
Yeah, I think he did too. Yeah, but yeah, obviously, like I said before, this is the perfect opportunity just to show what they've got, kind of thing. It's going to be great.
Yeah,
it's going to be a good crowd there too. Obviously the Chook Pen, the supporters there at Wynnum are always rowdy, no matter who you're playing. So obviously it's going to be it's obviously going to be interesting to see how that reception's like. Obviously as well, Wynnum actually have got the better of the Broncos the last few times.
A couple of years ago, they beat them. Last 2 years ago?
I think that was the meme where I was like, how the Broncos lose to Wynnum. And I think as well, in the same weekend, the Broncos lost to Wynnum, and I think the Titans lost to either Burleigh or Tweed.
Yes. It was 2 years ago.
Everyone was all like, how can you lose it? And it's like, and you're quick to judge. It's like, it is a trial, and it's not your full squad, but it was all that meme and laugh.
Yeah, look, I think it was 2 years ago, the Titans were beaten by, I think it was Burleigh. And I think I lost 14-12, and I think Wynnum beat Brisbane in a tight one.
The same day, yeah. It was an interesting one. Obviously, it doesn't matter. I think the NRL community just had a little bit of a laugh at
everyone had a bit of a stitch up. The memes were going wild, and I think last year Brisbane won by 50 or 40.
Yeah, I actually did watch that. I did watch that stream. Yeah, Broncos. Yeah, put into the cleaners.
Hopefully, the quality of the broadcast is a lot better this year.
Yeah, mate. It's not gonna be it's not going to be like NRL standard. It's not going to be on KO. It's not going to be on.
Yeah, just give us some decent.
It's going to be like on. I think it's either going to be on YouTube or on Wynnum Manly's Facebook page. So
yeah. Well,
it's going to be like
either way, I'll be doing a review on this game once it ends on Saturday. I'll be doing a live review as soon as this game ends, so that's going to be interesting. All right, let's just get to it. Prediction for the game this weekend. Obviously, it's a hit out, and no one really cares who wins and who loses. Broncos and Wynnum. Who wins, Hainsey? Give us a bloody score prediction, and I don't know, like man the match or something.
Far out. So I'll go the Broncos 32-18, I think.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, they're expected to win no matter whoever they're
Man
playing.
the match?
I'll go Tristan Sailor. He's the only recognised Bronco I can remember. So, but yeah, I'll go Tristan Sailor. He's got a bit to prove. So, obviously, it's going to be like it's just going to be great to see some footy again. We're 8 days away till the first official trial in New Zealand, which is going to be great. All Stars next week. So, yeah, that's going to be interesting. What time is that going to be? Like our time? That's going to be pretty early.
6 o'clock, New South Wales. 5 o'clock.
Perfect. Come home after a hard day work.
Yeah, exactly right. I'm going to go this game on the weekend. Broncos and Wynnum. My prediction. So I'm going to go.
Obviously,
the Broncos. I reckon the Broncos win 30 points to 8. Broncos 30, Wynnum 8. Man of the match. I think Tristan Sailor will also have a big game on the weekend, and Wishart might even score a try and dummy half as well. So I'll go Broncos 30 to 8. That'll be too good.
Oh, they expected to win, obviously. So yeah. The Broncos should be. So last year they won. Last year they won 52-4, and the likes of Ezra Mann, Jordan Pereira, and Billy Walters had played in that team. So
yeah, I'm surprised Jordan Pereira isn't playing this game either.
It's a different look side. So, but yeah, so obviously, here's the the match summary. Mariner scored 3, Pereira scored 2, Paker Sarko played, Tyson Gamble, Ezra Mann, and also Manu played last year as well, and they got on the scoreboard. So, but yeah, obviously the Broncos should win. But, it's a trial. Obviously, it's not going to matter of the result. It's basically the plan. Obviously, it's just a head out to see how they all do, all that kind of stuff. So, Broncos fans, if you do lose, obviously it's not the end of the world. It's just a trial.
Don't get angry.
Even if you lose next week in the proper trials, it's just a trial. It doesn't mean shit.
I've seen teams lose all their trials and go on and make the top 4, so I wouldn't stress.
Well, we lost all our trials last year. We lost to the Tigers in a trial. Again, doesn't matter. It's just a trial. It's all about combinations, all that kind of stuff. So it's just a trial. It's just the fact that we're getting to see some footy this weekend. So that's amazing.
100%. Well said. All right, Hainsey, that's going to wrap up the trial match preview for the Broncos and Wynnum. Mate, thanks for coming on the channel and previewing it with me, mate. It's going to be interesting, and it's great to have some rugby league back on.
Certainly is. Thanks for your time, Nick. Always a pleasure coming on. Anytime, anywhere, I'll be there. Can't wait for the footy.
All right, guys, we're going to get on out of it. My internet connection's starting to cut out. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.